Hi everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Kelsey. I also call myself Dinosaur Mama, and today we are working on a Valentine's Day favor. I know I'm a little late to the game, so you can actually use these for party favors if you miss Valentine's Day. You can find the free SVG for these Play-Doh holders on my website, dinosaurmama.com, and please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel to keep up with all things crafty. Let's get started. The first thing you're going to want to do before you ungroup your files is to resize them. I don't show it here, but for the square one, I resized it to 4.5 in width, that's in inches, and the heart I resized to 5.25 inches in width. Once you have them resized, you're going to ungroup both of them, and then we are going to do some attaching and changing. So once you have it ungrouped, you are going to grab the top part of the square and those little cut lines, and you're going to hit attach. You don't need to change those lines to anything. They are basic cut lines. For the small rectangle at the bottom, you're going to want to change those lines to score lines. And if you don't have a scoring tool, then just delete them or hide them. And then you are going to attach those together as well. You're going to do the exact same thing over on the heart feature. You're going to attach those cut lines. Do not change them to anything. And then you are going to change the bottom ones to score lines and attach those to the rectangle. Now we're going to add on some text. I found some cute quotes for Play-Doh for Valentine's Day. I just searched online, and so I am going to change these to a free writing font that I found. I will link my blog post to over 15 free writing fonts if you don't have Cricut access. They are a great alternative for you. So I'm using, it's called Beeline Thin, and I'm going to center these and attach them. Make sure you change it to writing. On some of these, I didn't realize that I hadn't changed it until the very end, and so you want to make sure you're not cutting this into your project, but you are using a writing tool. So again, I am typing this out, and then I'm going to add the curve to this one for my heart. And so it's a pretty wicked curve, and I'm going to resize it and then attach it to the heart. That way I'm not adding anything, and I don't have to add vinyl or anything like that. My pens are just going to do all the work for me. And honestly, these really didn't take long to cut with my Cricut and assemble. I honestly think the longest part of this project, once I started it, was just designing the actual Valentine's Day part of it. So making it a little more personalized, adding on the quotes, and adding on the shapes. So I grabbed a heart that is a free shape that Cricut has. I also have other shapes on my blog if you're looking for some more free shapes. You'll see I add later onto the heart an arrow with a swallowtail at the end, and that is a free shape that you can find on my website if you don't have Cricut access. So I'm just adding in all my little details and resizing, rotating, and then make sure you're going back and attaching your writing to each of those shapes. If you don't attach, the writing is just going to be put onto its own mat. It has to be attached to the shape that you want it on. So now you'll see me going through and changing everything to pen. So I'm just double checking all of my writing to make sure it is in pen and not in cut, and then making sure that it's attached to the appropriate piece. So once I had it all attached, I went to my color sync to make sure my colors were all good, and I sent it to my Cricut Explorer Air to be cut on cardstock paper. I used a 65-pound textured cardstock. Our assembly here is super simple. You're going to grab all of your extra pieces and start with those. So I'm grabbing the heart and I'm going to attach it to the top corner and the bottom corner. And of course, this is going to depend on your design. So I'm just speeding this up a little bit because I know everybody's is going to look different. Mine was just an idea that I gave you on the blank. So I have this and I'm flipping it over. And so for our holder, you're going to want to fold on those score lines. And I would say it makes kind of a U shape. So it goes flat against, then down, and then out and flat again, then back towards it and flat so you can attach the handles. And that is how we attach our holder. Now I grabbed some foam tape and I realized after I had colored foam tape, so I will show you that in a little bit. And I'm just putting one in the back to secure the Play-Doh in. So now at the end, I would say you can size these a little bit smaller if you want to, not by much. It did fit almost perfectly, but I added in those basic slits around the outside so that if your Play-Doh is a little bit bigger, you do have some wiggle room to push it through. It also gives you wiggle room to make these Valentine's holders or these party favors a little smaller. And as you can see, I'm attaching the back of the holder to the heart in the exact same way. And then I'm going to attach my design onto the heart as well, so it has an arrow going through it. So you can play around with these, make them your own design, add to them, and I'll be adding on more shapes onto my blog in the future so you can use them for different party favors. And here is the pink foam tape that I have. I will link all of the materials below so you can find them and shop for yourself. And this is just so you can hide the color white if you wanted to make it a little less visible. You can barely see it because it's pink. So then you just pop your little Play-Doh in and it'll hold it. And these are so cute. Thank you for joining me today as we assembled these Valentine's Day favors. Don't forget to like and subscribe to follow along for other projects and free SVG files, along with tutorials on how to make your own SVGs. Happy crafting!